nothing can stop me. I'm all the way.
How's it going, guys? Public Safety Network here. Today we're going to start with the next On the Job. These seem like they're a pretty popular series, and so I'm just going to kind of keep rolling with them until you guys get tired of them. So the security we're talking about today is going to be bouncing / nightclub / bar security. If anyone's ever been to a bar or a nightclub, they see the big dude out front that's checking IDs, sometimes patting people down. Those commonly referred to as bouncers. Of course, a lot of people just call them bar security now, mostly because bouncing has kind of a negative connotation. Now, what is bouncing? Bouncing is pretty much you provide security to usually some type of nightlife institution. That could be a bar, it could be a nightclub, it could be sometimes restaurants that turn into bars later at night. I've seen them all over the place. There's a place that actually is right near where I live that has 6 different bars and 6 different types of security. Depending on the type of institution, the uniform can change. I've seen anything from a full suit and tie all the way down to jeans and a t-shirt that just say security on it. And a lot of times it depends on what type of institution, what kind of, I guess you say, class of institution. If it's more of a nightclub, you're more likely going to see more formal dress, or if it's your standard dive bar, possibly it's most likely going to be a guy in jeans and a t-shirt. I have seen some bars hire armed security. There's a nightclub that I used to go to that did this quite a bit. They would hire usually one armed security guy to work outside, and then the rest of the guys inside would be unarmed. I've seen bouncers do a variety of different tasks. Obviously, the most common is manning the front door. They're usually checking IDs, making sure that everyone is legal to enter whatever the establishment. Some places is 18 and up, other places is 21 and up, and they're pretty much making sure that everyone is a valid age and that the IDs are valid. I mean, one of their main jobs is to catch fake IDs, because we all know, college kids love to use the fake IDs. Another big part of their job is to pat people down. Generally, I've seen this, it's mostly men that get patted down. Usually, again, they'll either do a quick frisk of the outside of the clothing and inside your pockets to make sure you don't have any weapons like knives, guns, or any illegal substances like drugs. Women, on the other hand, I've seen them mostly, they check their purse. So they'll look in their purse, make sure, again, there's no guns, knives, drugs, anything that could be used as a weapon. That's a lot of times what you're going to see at the outside. Bouncers may take cover charges. I don't see that very often. Usually they have more like a receptionist at the desk that'll take the cover charges before you walk in. Secondly, bouncers also, they'll walk the floor, making sure that everyone's being safe, that no one is, a lot of times bars have policies about jumping on tables or dancing on tables, and they're obviously making sure that doesn't happen. Obviously making sure that everyone's acting safely. A lot of times the bouncers will eject people from the bar that obviously can't follow the rules, that may be getting belligerent, or obviously, they may be getting handsy and groping some of the other patrons. And like I said, majority of the time I've seen bouncers able to, just kind of kindly escort someone out the bar, but sometimes they are required to get a little hands-on and, sometimes physically remove somebody. They're also, a lot of times the bartenders are used to, will use the bouncers to cut people off and say, hey, you're not allowed to drink anymore, you can stay, but, So those are kind of the main job duties of a bouncer. I have seen them perform other miscellaneous tasks. I've seen them, do some server tasks where a waitress may be super busy, you may ask the bouncer, hey, can you bring this to a table? You don't see that a whole lot, but I understand that the nightclub life where sometimes it gets really hectic and people have to take on tasks that necessarily they may not have had to do in the past. The pay for bouncing, I've seen it all over the place. I've seen it at minimum wage with tips, and that usually means that you get tipped out by service staff and bartenders, and I've seen it middle of the scale, $15-17 an hour. So it's kind of all over the place. Most of the places I've seen tend to be around the minimum wage area, maybe a little bit above, but I've seen them, a lot of them will give tips. Another one that I didn't really include in this is strip club security, because it's very similar. I'm going to tell you guys this, most strip club bouncers are usually going to be in their mid-30s, and the reason for that is most of them have kind of got past their wild days, and they understand that this is kind of not a place for fraternization, and it's pretty much down to business. So if any of you younger guys are looking to be a bouncer at a strip club, good luck. Most of them, like I said, most of them are going to be in their mid-30s, at least from what I've seen. May not always be 100% true, but all the ones around here tend to hire people into the mid-30s, maybe even early 40s. I will let you guys know this. Bouncing is probably, I think, listed as the most dangerous type of security that there is. The reason is because a lot of times you're mixing people alcohol with weapons. They may not have weapons on them personally, but they may have weapons in their car. They may have a gun or a knife or whatever in their vehicle. They get ejected from the bar, they get pissed off, and they come back and they want to shoot the club, or they want to stab the bouncer that ejected them. And so kind of really think about that when you're getting into this, guys. It's like I said, it is, I believe, the most dangerous out of all security professions, because you have that mixture of potential weapons and alcohol, and people tend to their personalities tend to get magnified when they're drinking. So if they're a jerk when they're not intoxicated, imagine what they're going to be like when their blood alcohol level is 3 times the legal limit. I'm also going to tell you guys this: most bar security, bouncer, nightclub type jobs are part-time. That's because a lot of bars, especially the nightclubs, are only open on the weekends, so they may be open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or any slew days, but very rarely have I seen bouncers make it a full-time job. Strip clubs, on the other hand, because they're open, believe not 24/7, but they're open usually 7 days a week, and I believe almost year round, if not year round. So those guys tend to maybe be able to make fit a full-time job, but most of your average bar gigs are going to be part-time work. Another piece of advice for you guys is this: most places don't want guys to crack skulls. You're not there to get into physical altercations. You're there to obviously ensure the safety of the customer, but they want guys that are good at talking their way out of things. They don't want to have you to fight people, because that's a liability on them. You're more likely to get hurt, or hurt one of the patrons, and that's something they obviously want to avoid for liability and PR reasons. So most places, when you see a job description for some type of bar security, they're going to be like, we want you to be friendly, we want you to beat, but a lot of times there may be height and weight requirements. I've seen bars around here that are looking for guys that are 6'2", 250 pounds, and it's because they want the intimidation factor. If you see that coming at you, you're most likely going to stop whatever it is that you're doing. But just remember that, guys, you're not there to be an enforcer. You're there to pretty much make sure everyone stays safe and that the rules are followed. Talk people down if you can, and then obviously if you've tried every other option, then at that point you would probably have to physically remove someone, but that should never be your first option. So if you have a temper or you're a hothead, I'd stay away from bar security, because realistically you're just going to get yourself into trouble. That's about all there is for today, guys. This is kind of a quick one. Bar security bouncing is fairly kind of straightforward. There really isn't, I would say, a lot of intricacy to it. The title is in the description. Maybe for higher end nightclubs, maybe a little different, but this is going to be your standard run-of-the-mill, maybe local bar or nightclub. So if you guys like the series, I think I have like 3 or 4 more videos for this type of work that I'm going to do. Obviously, if you have any other type of security jobs that you want me to cover, go ahead and throw it down in the comment section below. If you're a bouncer or you've been bar security before, throw it down in the comment section. Maybe some fun stories that you had, or maybe some things that people don't know about the bar security or nightclub security industry. But thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, comment. The more engagement I get, the higher these end up the algorithms, the more views I get, and then obviously the more subscribers I get, the more time I get to dedicate to this. And I've really enjoyed doing these videos. I think I just reached video number 30, and my subscriber count is slowly rising, and it's all thanks to you guys. So when you guys get a chance, watch all of my other videos, and I'm going to keep updating you guys every chance I get. But again, thanks for the support, guys, and I hope everyone has a good day.